Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dan the Glass Man here, and we are about to eat some impossible meat. So, I've had this before. I'm really curious what's in these things. This here is it's an Impossible Burger that comes from a local place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's a vegan restaurant, so they offer nothing but vegan food, I do believe. So I do believe that the bread has no eggs, no milk. The cheese is not dairy, and the meat is not meat. So let's check it out and let's see what this is all about. So this, check it out. It's like a standard greasy burger. Like a drive-through burger thing, you know. You can actually see it. It looks a little greasy in some spots. So this is a Lucky Goose, which was established in 2021. So it's a brand new place. We'll pull it out and see. It's actually made just like a regular burger. And let's take a look at it. Let's see what this actually looks like. So, I've had this before. To me, it kind of reminds me of what a Big Mac tastes like with the Thousand Island. I think they put Thousand Island on here. Now, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I used to when I was a kid and went in teenager, things like that. But, you know, I got away from eating that kind of food. So, this is the Impossible Burger here. And open it up. It's got onion. It's got that Thousand Island, as you can see, and they actually double burger it. So as you can see, and that looks like meat. If you were a vegetarian and someone just threw this down in your lap, you'd be like, "Oh, no thanks." Like, nah, I'm good. So, you know, being that this is vegan, vegetarian, all this stuff, you know, I was just listening to one of them podcasts from Joe Rogan, which I'll play for you here in a second, and I'm still gonna test it out, try it out in front of you and everything, but take a look at that. I mean, that looks like real authentic drive-through burger, right? It looks like the same kind of patty that you would get from McDonald's. Nice and flappy and greasy. Alright, let's take a bite. Like a burger. What's weird is that it's got the texture of a burger. Tastes like a regular burger. Well, now this is coming from someone who's mostly vegetarian, and I don't really eat burgers, so we would have to actually put one of these down with someone like my dad and be all, "Yo, Dad, try this out. See if you like it." Because he's all like a meat and potatoes kind of guy, or at least he was when I was growing up. Ooh, this has green chili in it. So that's the one thing about burgers in Albuquerque. Sorry, excuse me, let me. The foods here in Albuquerque, in New Mexico, we can always ask for green chili or red chili. On pretty much everything. So, if you were to eat this and you were a meat eater, I could think that I could slip this by you and you wouldn't even know that it's an Impossible Burger. It's a fake meat. It's made out of plant enzymes and proteins, and what I guess they do is they get the oils from the fats, and then they somehow coagulate the oils and put amino acids and things from the plants back into it and create a meaty texture, which is pretty interesting, right? And look at that. I mean, it's just like a burger, right? Very interesting. So, I was just listening to Joe Rogan and them, and they're talking about this, and he's talking about, well, they're using these saturated fats or bad oils instead of the good oils. I guess when they're reading about it, they were learning that they were using coconut oil at first, but then they converted over to canola oil or something like that, which is a lot worse for you. So these things aren't really healthy. It's just a meat alternative if you are desiring or craving meat, which I don't really desire or crave meat. It's just something that Vegan Outreach, so thank you Vegan Outreach for bringing these out from Lucky Goose here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And what's cool is that it's from the free food line. So this is free food that they give out to the community. And a lot of the community is actually scared when they find out that it's not real meat. And they probably haven't even tried it. They're like, oh no, I'm good. But I got there late, and I was able to get 3 of them. I still got 2 more right here. I'm not craving meat. I'm not craving burgers, but when it's free food and it's not really meat, it's not a cow. I'm not killing a cow. I'm not desecrating the sacred flesh of the Brahmin cow, of a sacred animal. And so yeah, I don't mind eating it, but learning about what it really is, that's the thing. So they're talking about how this is all saturated oils and fats, and then they somehow coagulate it. They use amino acids and different things, and they put it back into it in order to turn it into a meat-like substance. Probably has gluten and wheat in it, I'm sure, in order to hold it together. I know they use a lot of gluten, vital gluten. So, you know, Serena may not actually be able to eat these. A lot of the meat alternatives are made out of gluten-based stuff. There's only a few that actually will use like egg yolks that she can eat because she is dairy-free and gluten-free. So let's take a look at this here, and let me bring this up to a full screen, and let's see if we can. Hopefully, you guys can hear this without me having to blast this out too loud.
The Joe Rogan experience.
And it's 5 hours from Cleveland, so wasn't a quick jump.
Food poisoning is sketchy.
Sucks, dude. Sucks.
They're talking about food poisoning, eating bad foods and
That's the second
things
time.
like that.
The first time I had it was in college. It was the worst thing ever. It was way worse. This was both ends. This is when your mouth and the back door.
And what they say about these
It's
things,
like a cartoon.
I'm like,
movie theater.
maybe I
popcorn.
really shouldn't be eating
That's
this.
real shit.
Movie theater
That's
popcorn
real shit, dude.
Food poisoning.
Here's how we knew.
I'm sorry about the bad language.
We ate totally different meals all day, and this other friend of ours too. And long story short, whatever, we both woke up sick at the same time, like in the middle of the night. And we had asked when I went to the doctor finally the next day, because I was sick all day. And the doctor was like, "What'd you eat?" I detailed it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, sometimes the butter can be spoiled or rotten."
Oh, actual butter.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why they use that fake ass butter.
Hell yeah.
What is that fake ass
I
butter
don't
made
know.
out
I don't
of?
fucking know.
What the fuck is movie popcorn theater butter made out of if it's not real butter? Because most places don't have real butter.
Jamie's laughing at my
This is butter flavor.
movie popcorn.
What do you think it is? It's like gotta be some weird vegetable oil.
Yeah, it's
Oh, nasty
It was
shit.
weird. It was weird. Yeah, we
butter
both
flavored oil. Yeah.
Butter flavor.
oily.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's not butter. What is that?
margarine.
bullshit. Well, they
You know
say
how bad that stuff is for you?
Trash.
People used to think margarine's the way to go. Like, if butter's terrible for you, have some margarine. Margarine's non-dairy. It's fucking horrible for you. But all processed oils, you know what they're finding out from those fake meat burgers? They fed them to rats. They're giving them liver cancer.
Yeah.
Pull up what the study was. Yeah.
It's gonna give me liver
one of those
cancer.
is Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat or Not Really Meat, whatever the fuck it is.
yeah.
I mean,
Not
well,
meat, but looks like
we're gonna
meat.
die
We're
from
make it look
something
like
these
meat.
days, right?
Processed oils.
With grill marks on it. Why do they do that shit?
Shit, it's mostly oils.
Yeah.
It's like oils from vegetables. It's very
A
strange.
lot of soy and shit like that.
Like those processed vegetable oils are terrible for you.
Yeah.
You know what's good for you? Olive oil. That's a good vegetable oil.
Yes.
Avocado oil is good for you. But like all that other
Yes.
shit, like canola, all that
Coconut
stuff,
oil.
So this is my question. Is it because
Hemp
it's not
oil.
naturally occurring?
Rat feeding studies
Flaxseed
suggest
oil.
the Impossible Burger
Grapeseed
may not
oil.
be safe to eat. Scroll down. This is GMO science. It says, hold on a second.
May not be.
Rats fed. Rats. What are you doing? What's going on with
You're
your
trying to make it bigger and it's just going up.
Rats.
Stop doing
Stop. Stop moving. Go back. Jesus, Jim. Stop. Go back. Go back.
It's on back.
No,
That's it.
no, it's not.
There it
Thank
is.
you. Thank you. Rats fed the genetic... No, the fucking text there, buddy. Rats fed the genetically modified yeast-derived protein soy... Whoa. Say that word.
Lehemoglobin.
No, the hemoglobin.
Lehemoglobin.
The hemoglobin. That
The
sounds like
hemoglobin.
Danny
He's-
Lehemoglobin.
Oh, Danny hemoglobin.
He's a good boy.
The
He's Danny
burger's
Lehemoglobin.
key ingredient developed unexplained changes in weight gain and significant signs of toxicity. Why did I put the word significant in there? It wasn't even there.
It's got green chili in it too.
I'm an editor.
Green chili is toxic.
Unexplained changes in weight gain and signs of toxicity. And it said the Impossible Burger is a plant-based burger. The key ingredient, which is a protein called soy hemoglobin,
Lehemoglobin.
SLH, derived from genetically modified yeast.
Hemoglobin.
A rat feeding study commissioned by the manufacturer Impossible Foods found that rats fed SLH developed unexplained changes
Leg
in weight gain,
hemoglobin.
as well as changes in the blood that can indicate that the onset of inflammation or kidney disease, as well as possible signs of anemia.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Impossible Foods dismissed these statistically significant
shit.
effects as non-adverse.
I'm gonna
or
get
having no
anemia.
toxicological relevance.
It's so funny you can just dismiss things. They did a real study and they're like, not real.
Well, they're dismissing it because it's not convenient. I mean, It's
Right.
real simple. I mean, you do rat studies doesn't necessarily mean it transfers to people, but that stuff is okay. What's the ingredients? Let's find out what the fucking
Yeah, that's what I wanna
ingredients
know,
are.
like,
These
how they make
Impossible,
it.
because that's not the only thing that I've read. I've read things by actual nutritionists. They're saying, look, you want to be on a plant-based diet, you should eat real foods. You can eat healthy on a plant-based diet. You can eat
Yes.
real vegetables and avocado, and there's
Yes.
plenty of good stuff to eat. Coconut oils, all
Raw
that stuff's healthy
foods,
for you.
bananas,
When you
peanut
start
butter,
making
oatmeal,
shit look like meat.
kale,
That's when shit gets
chard,
screwy because you're
bok
finding
choy.
all kinds of. They're adding all sorts
All
of
the
processed
dolls.
food. Why'd you take that off the screen?
all the kachari.
Oh no, it's okay. So what the fuck is in there?
Top 5 ingredients.
Calories. 4-ounce serving, which is pretty skimpy, clocks in at 240 calories. That's in the range of a beef burger, depending on fat content. Cholesterol. Impossible contains no cholesterol. To compare, a regular beef patty contains about 80 milligrams. Scroll up.
No
Scroll
cholesterol.
up. Scroll up. Fat. 14 grams. Includes 8 grams of saturated fat, which is generally considered less healthy than unsaturated fat. That's not true. It's entirely dependent upon the source, and it's entirely dependent upon like how you're eating,
Right.
and what you're eating.
Yeah.
Like it's the idea that saturated fat is bad for you. This has all been debunked. This is comparable to a beef burger, mostly due to the coconut oil, which is healthy for you fuckers. This year, the Impossible replaced a portion of the coconut oil, which is the highest in saturated fat, god damn it, with sunflower oil, which is way shittier for you, which is an unsaturated fat. God damn. This, talking to nutritionists on this podcast has been so enlightening, but so
maybe if they
confusing
would
when
have
you see
kept
the
it
way
with
that
the
people still wanna
coconut
eat
oil
low
instead of
fat.
sunflower is a little better.
They don't understand, like, Fats are important. Your
Yeah.
body fucking needs them. They're good for your brain.
Yeah,
They're
you
good
need
for
olive oil, you need avocados.
everything. Omega-3s, omega-6s.
Hemp
That was
hemp
the
oil
revolution
is
of,
one of the best
like, I
because it's
remember
got
as a
the
kid,
essential
everything
fatty
became
acids that you need
in like the
for
80s,
human
90s,
consumption,
everything was
including
lower
high
fat, but it
protein
was higher
content.
sugar content, right? So it was just like less fat, but they were just increasing the sugar. It was like 1% milk. That's the
Right.
biggest joke when they're like,
Cut out
sugar.
less
cut
fat.
out
Yeah, but
all
they
the
substituted it with tons of fucking
sugars,
sugar.
Because it
replace
tastes
sugars
terrible.
Yeah, it
with
tastes like
honey.
shit without the fat.
All those monsters that put low-fat milk in their coffee, who the fuck
Piece
are you?
of shit.
Who are you? They're tripped. They got tricked. They got tricked by this idea that you're supposed to.
Who
have low fat.
are you?
Find out. Pull up something.
All right.
What is the
I'm gonna do
Impossible
some
Burger
dabs
healthy?
right now while
Is it
we're
healthy?
listening
Well,
to
here's
this.
the thing. They were that article obviously was siding with the Impossible Burger because
Got
they
some
cited
diamonds
3
today.
4 items, and it was like soy protein, coconut, and something
Yeah,
else. They
diamond.
don't really tell you how the process is that they make those. That's the thing. They won't say, well, here's how we derive these things and fucking process them.
I was going to say, before I even looked this up, I don't think that they're even marketing as being healthier. It's just an alternative for meat, for people that really still want to eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the,
Yeah, people who are
Is it
craving meat all the time, they
I don't
need
think they're even
something.
bothered. Yeah, it's probably less healthy for you than a fucking McDonald's cheeseburger, which is barely meat anyway.
It's pretty interesting to hear that, right? So there you go. That was Joe Rogan. I listen to him every once in a while. He's not like someone that I follow all the time, but I looked it up on YouTube real quick. I was like, what did I look up? It was something like, is the Impossible Burger healthy, or something like that. Impossible Burger, is it healthy? So I typed that in, and then the Joe Rogan video came in, and I was like, well, he's pretty controversial, and the way he speaks, he's pretty like upfront, you know. So I just wanted to see what he had to say. And yeah, it may actually not be so healthy for us, guys, that we may not really want to be eating this impossible meat. Some diamonds. So yeah, the Impossible Burgers, are they really good for us? Are they healthy for us? What do you guys think? Have you had them? Have you tried these? So what's crazy is that, you know, I wouldn't go buy these. I wonder how much they actually are from Lucky Goose. I don't know how much they are. I would bet a double burger like this, at least $5. At least $5. So I got $15 worth of free Impossible Burgers here, and you know, I ate one, and now I'm gonna get anemia and maybe cancer, and I don't know what else. But seriously though, this new Impossible Foods that they're gonna be pushing onto the world because of this new Great Reset is it's quite interesting to see the chess pieces moving around on the board. You know, there's a lot of individuals who are changing their positions in corporations, moving to new corporations, changing their whole identity completely, and moving into agriculture and farmland. One of those individuals is Mr. Bill Gates. And Bill Gates, you know, he owns the most farmland out of all of us now in the nation. And something happened after he dropped down from being the CEO of Microsoft. He decided he was going to get into farmland. He was going to get into medical supplies. He was going to get into all these different things. So if you're watching and paying attention to where these big guys are putting their money, where they're investing, you will be able to see the plan at hand. Okay? So Bill Gates has leveraged his way into buying a lot of farmland, and they are talking about removing the beef industry. They're talking about zero emissions. How do we get to zero emissions? Zero emissions by 2030. Well, that's what they're going to keep pushing for. They're not going to be able to make it till 2050. That's what the agenda, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050. That's what all these agendas that the UN put out there. And now, who are we listening to now? We're listening to the UN, the WHO, the CDC. All these individuals are telling us what to do, including this individual guy, Mr. Gates, who is now buying all the farmland. And he is all about the GMO alternative meats, these Impossible Burgers. So what are they going to be putting into these meats? What have they put into them? What did I just put into my body right now? We don't really know what's going on. But at the same time, those who are eating meat, eating beef, eating pigs, chickens, eating all the different livestock, we don't really know what they're doing with all that. We've seen how they can glue beef together, and they have beef glue, which is highly cancerous. And yet people still will go and get their cuts of meat, knowing that their meats are glued together. Most of them are. Most people aren't going to the nice places. Like we got a place here called Keller's, which is a butcher, and they get local meat. So none of that's glued together, but it's expensive. You got to pay for it. So what's going to happen with all these alternative meats? What's going to happen with us going to zero emissions? Are you ready to go zero emissions? Are you paying attention to this great reset that Charles Schwab has been talking about? He is like one of the leaders of the elite of the world. He's a billionaire that's got so much power and authority, and he's been saying that the great reset that we are in right now is all about us individuals will own nothing and we will be happy. So, and they are equating it to the lifestyle of like being a Buddhist, where you live with very minimal things and still have happiness within. It's the same thing with Krishna consciousness on renunciation of everything, and understanding that nothing is ours, because it all belongs to Krishna. It all belongs to Creator, to God, to Creator. He's the one who created all, including the bad, all the good, all the bad, everything. So they're equating the great reset of you'll own nothing and you'll be happy as basically you're forced into being a Buddhist, being a devotee of Krishna, where you're being forced into renunciation. Now, when I chose to go into renunciation and I chose this path, that was a big decision to take. It's not just something that I wouldn't invite anyone into this path that I have chosen. I would not invite anyone into it, although I know that this is what will help to liberate all souls, all eternal souls. This is the way to liberate them from the cycle of birth and death. But I would not invite anyone into it because I know how harsh and how cruel it can be. It's renunciation of all. It's basically understanding and nothing is ours and still being happy. The great reset. So, I personally, whatever is to be, as it is, so shall it be. It is as it is. So, whatever happens is whatever happens, and I'll be ready for it. But a lot of people will not be ready for forced renunciation, for this forced zero emissions. The whole push for zero emissions. That's what this whole thing is about right now, guys. The Great Reset. They're utilizing this biological weapon, basically, and they've put an onslaught onto the entire world right now in order to shut down all the systems, to break them entirely, to show proof that they're not working anymore and they need to be reset. Why do we ever reset anything? What happens? Why would we reset our phones or reset the TV, reset the electronic devices, reset the clocks? Why would we reset things? It's because there was a glitch in them. Something happened, they're not working properly. So you reset these devices. Well, that's what they're doing to our entire lives. Is they've decided there's a glitch in the system, in their systems that they've created, and we basically have been indoctrinated into since day one, since we're born, since we're babies, not even able to coherently decide or choose which path we want to be in, and then they force us into this path, their systems, and now they're saying that they're broken and they're going to reset it. They're like, oh, it's glitching. The systems are glitching and we need a great reset. Not just reset the medical systems by breaking all the nurses, making them feel like they're heroes one year, and now they're completely replaceable. I mean, it's horrible what they've done to everyone's consciousness, to everyone's hearts, to everyone's egos and their prides. They've been playing the egos and prides against everyone, and calling everyone heroes when all they were doing was just doing their jobs. But then some people got that pride, they felt it, and it's like, yeah, they were in the middle of it. They do deserve some recognition for doing their job, but now they understand that really that whole badge of honor was very temporary. And this whole great reset it's about breaking the systems, making sure that they are completely broken so they can rebuild from the ground up. So it's basically taking a wrecking ball to everything right now. The water supplies, if you're paying attention, water protectors here always. And if you're paying attention to the water crisis going on around the world, everything happening. Flint, Michigan was a long, long time ago, and still no one saw that. The Animas River here in New Mexico, which went through Navajo Nation, all of that was completely desecrated long before Standing Rock. And then Standing Rock occurred, and that opened up the eyes to the world, or opened up the world's eyes, basically everyone's eyes, to what was going on with water. And yeah, some people still have their eyes shut to it, and some purposely shut their eyes to it and try to look the other way. But very soon, everyone's going to be feeling this man-made drought. The companies and huge corporations like Nestle taking billions of gallons of water from the natural resources that we have, from the groundwater that we have. Places like California, the EPA is forcing them to allow 75% of the Delta River to basically get flushed, to be purged back directly into the ocean without even harnessing it, without allowing it to go through California and to be used and accessed before it goes back to the ocean. So that's a lot of water, guys, that California is going to do without this next year and this whole season now. Farmers are being told to destroy their crops and are getting paid 1.5 times as much as the value of their crops if they were to harvest it and do all that work. So basically they're catching them and like, hey, it's not even harvest season, and we want to pay you 1.5 times the value of your crops right now if you just cut them out and destroy them. And also they're asking them to pour oil, pour gasoline on the soil, on the ground, so that's going to seep into the earth, seep into the groundwater. And there's a lot of destruction that's going on right now, guys. They're breaking the water system, they're breaking the agricultural system. So the rest of the United States, we actually rely on California to provide us with 70% of our food in all the grocery stores. Now, if you shop locally and you buy foods from local farms, local organic farms, local gardens, things like that, community gardens, then you don't have to really worry too much about that. But once the food shortages happen in the main agriculture, then all these smaller farms and stuff are going to be picking up that slack, and they're not going to be able to supply the demand. And that's going to break the system. So people need to basically start collecting their own seeds and start learning how to grow for themselves, like now. What I was told is we got 6 months until something catastrophic hits, and where we are completely without food supplies, or the shortages are just going to be just completely insane. Water supplies as well. With them purging all the dams and all the reservoirs back into the oceans right now, they are creating a higher water level in the oceans as they're depleting the groundwater, making it look like we have no groundwater on our land here, and basically making it look like we're in a drought. Even though we have all these floods, record rainfalls in all these places, you just saw what happened with Hurricane Ida and all the water that is brought, and we're in a drought. I don't understand. So, well, I do understand. I do get exactly what's going on with the weather manipulation and weather modification, this cloud seeding and cloud evaporation, being able to move precipitation wherever they want. That's what's been going on. And so they're breaking the systems, guys. They're breaking the agriculture. They're breaking the water. They're breaking jobs. They're telling people not to go to work unless you get, unless you get that. They're telling people not to go out to places unless you're wearing your mask. All this stuff is going on. And it's sad because everyone's freedoms are just getting taken left and right. And, until everyone starts to rebel, the rebellion doesn't begin. So if we want the rebellion to begin, we must start to rebel. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, guys, and this whole impossible meat thing was just basically to bring you guys in to the video to talk about what's going on with the agriculture, with the farmlands, with the water, with all this, the whole Great Reset. No more change at the stores. You got to have exact change, or you don't get change back. Whatever happened with the merger now with China and Russia and either Iran or Afghanistan, and the whole tearing down the petrodollar, the oil, the gold standard is pretty much going to be no more. And the American dollar, the U.S. dollar, is about to fail. And that means that all the prices of goods and services are going up. And there's a lot of cargo shipments that are also being delayed in the ports. And a lot of places, local grocery stores, local hardware stores, all these places are actually not able to supply the demand currently. They're waiting on truck supplies. They have back orders upon back orders upon back orders, waiting for stuff. I heard the other day when I was in Smith's, a lady asking one of the stock boys if a certain item was in, and she's been in for the last week waiting for the truck to deliver and waiting for the truck, and she was wondering, when's the next truck coming in? And he was telling her, well, I think that was on a Wednesday, and he was saying, I believe Friday is the next delivery when the trucks come in, but that doesn't guarantee that those items are coming in, because some of the items have been on back stock. He was telling her right there. It was like, okay, so, and then also I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I eat like a lot of tacos. So I eat tapatio and sometimes the chula hot sauce. And for a while there in Smith's, there was none. The whole entire shelves were completely bare of those two brands specifically. I mean, they had like the Louisiana hot sauce, and they had some other ones like the Ortegas and the different ones like that, but they were completely sold out of the tapatio and the chula hot sauce. So there are products that are scarce right now that they're waiting on back orders because these shipments are being held up in at the ports. And there's a lot of stuff that's about to go down. Hey, how's it going, Sheena? Just explaining what's going on in the world with all this, the Great Reset, and the reason why we're needing a Great Reset is, anytime you want to reset your phone would be because your phone's glitching out. So the elites have basically deemed that their systems are glitching, the governmental systems, the political systems, everything, even the military systems. I mean, you saw what happened in Afghanistan. I mean, that that was planned. They left Americans there on purpose. They left them all those weapons there. They did that on purpose. I mean, this is all planned out. This is all staging the events to come. When you're playing chess, you move your men around accordingly to make it look like your opponent is winning, not realizing that you're about to get them stuck in checkmate. And that's what they're doing right now, guys. They got so many things going on the board, and everyone's trying to follow this crazy. It's like the circus, like I was saying the other day. They got all the rings going at once with the trapeze artists happening and all the animals and the sideshows on the outside, and you got the vendors all selling their things, and the guys walking through the stands, popcorn, get your peanuts and your popcorn, and you're trying to like pay attention to what's going on while he's yelling in your ear. That's what's going on right now, guys. That's what's happening. There's no way to even pay attention to it all. They got us so inundated and distracted and completely just we're in it. And until we, like I said, the rebellion doesn't start until we start to rebel. So that's all I really got for you guys. Keep on planting your seeds. Keep on sharing your knowledge. Remember, allow it to be open source so we can continue on with moving forward with as much knowledge as we possibly can share with one another, so we can all be on that same level, on that same wavelength, and we can continue to grow and prosper together instead of holding each other back. So with that being said, I'm going to let you go. I may eat another one of these crazy anema burgers and cancer burgers here and Impossible burgers. And that's about it. I don't got anything else to share with you guys. I can't keep repeating the same things over and over. But I pray that you guys have been paying attention, that you're really getting prepared, and you are getting your supplies, that you're getting your rice and your beans and your flour and your sugars if you need them, and your whatever, your chocolates that you're going to be craving, and whatever you need. All your necessities, you know. If you're very simple, you might be able to just live off of basic necessities, you know, just bread and peanut butter, you know, or just whatever comes to you, you know, like something Impossible. Got 3 of them today, all for free. So these are the times that we're in, guys. I hope you're not subjecting your children to the madness. Don't do it. They got something new coming out with polio-like symptoms, which I'll be sharing that information out in the video out soon. But they're already predicting and telling the doctors that there will be a rise in polio-like symptoms coming up here from September through November in children. But really what it is they're going to be masking the side effects, the adverse reactions from the vaccinations. So, oops, I said the word, didn't mean it. Now this video is going to get flagged. There you go. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, I hope you guys got that info. Love and blessings. I'll pray for you guys. I pray for us all. And continue to enjoy your life as best you can while we're in this shithole together. So that was the one thing that I learned about Krishna, is every adversary that he ever came into a battle with, he always met them with a smile, with a little music, a little dance, and then he defeated his enemies, defeated the demons. So, yeah, do it with a smile. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful life.